Welcome to another video in which we review Blender add-ons from the official Blender extensions platform, focusing on rigging and animation. All add-ons in this video are completely free, but if you need a paid add-on from Superhive, there is a sale right now and you can get 25% off, link in the description. Now let's dive into the free extensions. Believe it or not, there is an extension called Tetrominode, which allows you to play Tetris right inside Blender, and I believe it's based on geometry nodes. Is it useful? I don't think so, but it's amazingly cool that this is possible in Blender. It even plays the Tetris music, which my recording software is not catching for some reason. But yeah, give it a try when you want to relax a little bit between Blender sessions. Now we'll take a look at the Be Onion Skin extension. Onion skinning is a favorite tool of many animators. It allows you to see the poses of your character before and after your current frame. Blender has a bunch of onion skin add-ons. If you go to addons.cgdive.com and go to animation, onion skinning ghosting, you'll find all of the onion skinning add-ons I'm aware of. A couple of them are free, and Be Onion Skin is part of the extensions platforms. So let's take a look at it. To make it take effect, you have to select the objects that you want to be onion skinned. So for example, I can select the head of my character and press the plus button here in the add-ons interface. And now the head will be onion skinned. But instead of that, if you're working with an armature, you can select the armature itself and just add the armature to the list. And because we have this checkbox enabled, all children of the armature will now be onion skinned. So here it is, but the first time you play through your animation, it will play slower. So it seems to be caching something, and the next time you play it, it's going to play in full speed, at least in this simple scene. In these options, you can enable or disable the before and after poses, and you can also define how many you want to see. You can change the colors of the before and after poses, the amount of fade, and also you can play with how the fade is applied with linear, smooth, and exponential settings. You can enable X-ray for your object and also wireframe. Something I noticed is that when onion skinning is enabled, first of all, the viewport gets kind of slow, and occasionally I was completely unable to pose my character. So I think it's best to simply disable onion skin while animating and enable it when you want to see the effect. You can right click here and assign a shortcut or add to your quick favorites. So now I can enable and disable onion skinning very quickly in the viewport. And while testing this add-on, Blender did freeze for me a couple of times, but right now I'm testing a bunch of add-ons, so I cannot be sure that it is because of Be Onion Skin, but it could be. Setting ease in and ease out is one of the most essential and basic things you do in animation, and the Ease It extension gives you presets for ease ins and ease outs. Here I have a simple motion in linear interpolation, but if I select the curves and give them the default easing, that will set the default Bezier interpolation. But we can also try the Just Fine preset, which is a slightly more exaggerated ease in, ease out. And then we get progressively more extreme versions of that. Then we have presets that favor either the ease out or the ease in only and ease out only. And the advanced easings are actually kind of interesting. They will add additional keyframes, and they generally create some sort of an overshoot. We have anticipation presets. So this seems to have been created by an experienced animator. I find it very cool. Give it a shot. The Bezier Curve Editor is another add-on that allows you to save your own custom presets for ease-ins and ease-outs. When you enable it, it's going to be available here in the timeline. And one of the main reasons I wanted to highlight this add-on is because it's yet another extension that implements its own interface. Blender makes it really easy for add-on developers to implement Blender-like interfaces, but they have some limitations. So it's kind of cool to see this completely custom UI implementation. So what this add-on allows you to do is it gives you this curve that you can tweak any way you like, and then you can save a preset. Then you select your preset and go to your curves and click Apply Curve, and that will apply the exact preset that you created here. It also allows you to tweak the elastic type of preset with this intuitive interface. And again, you can save it and apply it to one of your curves. Now here's an extension. I thought the concept was cool. Basically, it creates a specialized joystick interface for your shape keys. So here's how it works. First, you create a group and you give it a mapping. And here you choose the shape key that is going to be affected. I have shapes for mouth left, right, up, and down. So now I can enable the UI, and that will show this joystick interface here. And mouth left is already set here. So if I move the joystick, it will do exactly what it is supposed to do. Just by chance, the mouth left is exactly where it needs to be. But if it wasn't, I can use the X and Y values to move it, or I can just click in the interface and place it where I want it to be. So I'll leave it here, and let's add the next mapping, mouth right. And this one I'll have to move on the X-axis. Then mouth up. And mouth down. There's also this radius that you can increase. And so when the square enters the influence of a specific shape key, it will start triggering the shape key. Now I can create another group. So this will trigger the smile. And here I'll place mouth wide. And at the bottom, I'll place my frown. And here we have this neat button to just mirror the setup. So since I have .L and .R shape keys, it will just set the ones for the right side like this. Okay, to animate with this, you need to set a key from this menu here. Then on another frame, move the square and set another keyframe. And do this for any group that you need to. And here's the animation. And you can also bake this animation to shape keys so that the animation no longer relies on the add-on. So this is an interesting concept. I love the custom interface. In practice, when I try to set very specific combinations of shape keys, I found it a little bit cumbersome, but give it a go. It's a lot of fun to play with. Script Launcher can be extremely useful if you're comfortable with writing simple scripts, or you can have ChatGPT or something write them for you, but you don't want to become a full-on add-on developer. With this add-on, you can create a little shelf of your favorite scripts and just select them and run them. For example, here I have one that had Suzanne, one for random cubes. These are just random examples, but here is one that I actually find quite useful. When I import objects, they often have these custom normals. So I can just select my clear custom normals script and run it. And all of the objects now don't have custom normals. The way the add-on works is that you have to place your scripts in a specific folder on your hard drive. There is a default one which you can get to by clicking on this icon here, and here are the scripts that I have saved so far. You can also go to settings and add another directory and set its path over here. And that will be your custom path where you can save other scripts. And this way you can organize your scripts into folders. That's it for this episode. Like, subscribe, and check out the previous videos about free extensions. You'll find the link in the description box.